It's alright, you're sacked. Right, please put your hands together, warm one, for Lady HaHa.
Try to do it kneeling up this time. It's a bit hot. Not many in the audience at the moment. Oh. Anyone else too hot?
Yes.
You too hot?
Oh, bless you, thank you, Doc.
At least I've got one fan in the audience now. So I'm Lady HaHa. I don't know why they call me Lady HaHa. People have been doing it for years. It's obviously not how I look, and it's not how I sound. I think I was just born this way. So getting here today was a lot easier than getting to my last gig. My family are a bit weird. I'd asked my brother to take me. He got arrested on the way. That was fun. He had his car impounded. He still managed to get out and take me there. The problem thing is, in my family, everyone's a criminal. Everyone's got a criminal record, except for me. So I am the black sheep of the family. They think it's because I've got no criminal record. I know it's because I haven't been caught yet. So yeah, he had his car impounded and he was so worried about his precious little daisy, the car. And at the end of the night he turns to me and says, I'm going to change my name and go on the run from the cops. I'm going to change my name to Carlos. Therefore, didn't you tell me that before my set? No, I love performing here with disabled cants. I am one of the ones that are disabled. When my mum was having me, she was told that I would be a deaf dwarf with a dodgy heart. Well, I've got a heart issue. I am deaf, but I outgrew dwarfism. So truly, honestly, I do have a lot of illnesses. I've got Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It causes a lot of issues. I'll take the sparkly jacket off. I love that jacket. But I recently had part of my funny bone removed. Weird, because since that I started comedy. Not sure how it works, maybe it grew back. But I had that done because I can only feel half of my hand from there onwards. There's no feeling. It's not always a bad thing. Seeing as there's a fairly big male audience, most men will understand why not feeling your hand isn't always a problem. On the other hand, quite literally, that has no bone. That is a titanium bolt. I call it my titanium thumb. I had it fused after it dislocated too many times, and the surgeon said to me, how do you want it left? And I said, well, as long as I can hold a coffee cup, I'll be all right. Brilliant, still hold a coffee cup. But I have noticed now that it's in that permanent position, it's a fucking good time when I fist people. I've also recently, unfortunately, I've dislocated that one too many times, and that's going to have surgery on it, and they're doing a new one where they put a wire in from there to there, so it's not going to pull out anymore. I'm just really hoping it's a USB Type-C. Unfortunately, with all my medical issues, I do have a lot of chronic pain issues too, and it's becoming more of a thing nowadays that the best thing for chronic pain is weed. And there's a lot of cannabis clinics that are opening up so you can get legal cannabis. But I have an issue with cannabis in the past where, you know, I put whiteys, it's giving me seizures. Obviously that's street stuff. So I wanted to try something medical and see if I got on with it any good. And I was looking into it and I found out that actually a trip to Amsterdam was cheaper than going to a clinic over here. In the run-up to going over to Amsterdam, because I thought it was the greatest idea in the world, it was, to be fair, I had a word with my friend because she's a dominatrix. She works all over the world, but she does a lot of work in Amsterdam. So we were sitting for a coffee and I said to her, I'll go over to Amsterdam, give you recommendations, where's best to go? And she's like, oh, you're going to Amsterdam? Oh, well, my sugar daddy's taken me to Dubai and Saudi Arabia. That's great, one of us is getting stoned. But she did tell me about this place in Amsterdam that she thought that I'd like, and to be fair, it did sound amazing. It's a gay club, and it's got a cat that lives there, and it drinks its water out of a cocktail glass.
Oh.
I am very LGBT forward. I love cats, and sometimes I drink water. So I thought it would be a really good idea. Me and my sister went over, and I said to her, look, I really want to see this bar because I just want to see the cat. I was like, you know, cats. And she's like, all right, mate, eat some more cake and we'll think about it. So I did. The problem in Amsterdam is I use a mobility scooter normally, and there's a lot of bridges over canals, and I'm very lucky that the brakes worked, otherwise I'd have ended up with soggy Rizzler. But as I say, we're going round, and a lot of people aren't paying attention to the mobility scooter, but they are paying attention to bike bells. It's a different place, they're more used to bikes, fair enough, but every little tourist shop sold a different kind of tacky bike bell. So I go into a touristy shop, and I was amazed by the wibbly wobbly, vibrating, gyrating things on the wall. I wanted everything. But I just got a bike bell. And we come out, and I said to my sister, I really want to see this bar. And she said, shut up and eat more cake. And it was at that moment that I realised I was related to Marie Antoinette. We come out, and we're going round the corner, and I'm like, oh, actually, Anne Frank's house is just up here. Can we just stop by? I just want to go pay my respects, because it was the first book I read. And I get there, and I just couldn't get over how preventable it all was. There were signs everywhere pointing to her house. No wonder the fucking Nazis found her. As we're going around, I do spot the bar. Now, the bar, it was in Dutch. I didn't know. I wrote the name on my hand. I was very stoned. So I pointed. P-R-I-K. Prick! 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 Wouldn't have been so bad, except for the fact that there was a man standing between my finger and the bar. The man didn't speak English, but he did know the word prick very, very fucking well. And so I was like, no, not you, the big pink thing behind, not that big pink thing. So I did what anyone else would do, and I left the country in embarrassment. But I get back on the boat, and I realise I forgot about the fucking bike bell. I never put it on. So I open it up, and I realise that actually it was a cock ring. Very appropriate, because I was feeling like a bellend. It's not the first time that language has tripped me up in other countries. Me and my husband went to Spain on our honeymoon. It was also his birthday, but again, disability being an issue, I'd had a chronic chest infection for 5 weeks. That was 5 rounds of antibiotics. Women know if you've been on antibiotics for a while, it messes with the flora and fauna, and you end up with thrush. It's a bitch. Problem was, I was in Spain. How the fuck do you ask for thrush medication in Spanish? So I get my phone out and I type it into Google Translate, and I go down to the local Euro shop. I might have some here. I showed it to the woman and I got really excited. She said, oh, see, on a momento. Fantastic, she knows what I'm after. Except she brought back a big bag of birdseed. The pigeons were happy, but my chuff not so much. And so I ended up going down to the local pharmacy. I thought, right, well, I'm gonna have to charades this, because it didn't work in the last shop. So let's see. I go up to the counter and I'm like, Fuego! Is it Fuego? And she turns to me and goes, you want some Caniston? She spoke better fucking English than I do. Anyway, so I get this cream, and over here the cream is 1%. In Spain it is 9, and it is amazing. 1 dose and it clears it up. But on my way out, I did notice that some bloke had heard that the woman was English and knew what he was on about. I think he thought the rest of us were Spanish because he wasn't whispering as lowly as he probably should have been, because he leans in and he goes, "Excuse me, love, the entrance of my arsehole is really sore." And she turns to him and goes, "As long as you keep calling it an entrance, it's going to be." But as I mentioned earlier, it was my husband's birthday, and I wasn't able to give him the happy birthday that I'd intended to. All I could do was, when I had been in the Euro shop, I had picked up what I thought was a pack of birthday candles. They look like birthday candles, can't read Spanish, no fucking idea. Go down to breakfast the next morning, put the candles in his muffin, and it wasn't even the good cake from Amsterdam either. Lit them all, and he proceeded to give the worst blowjob of his life. They were the inextinguishable candles. Now, my name is Sam. I am not a fireman. I do know how to put fire out. So I picked this cake up, and I threw it in the pool. The aqua class were not happy. The instructor comes bowling over to me. "What do you think you're doing throwing things into the pool? The filters are going to get clogged." I was like, "Hang on, love, hang on. I've got something for an angry cunt upstairs." Thank you very much.
Right, we're going to keep that energy going.